I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Africa, that you can take the land without compensation, you're living in a dream. Let me put it quite frankly to you. If you want to start a civil war in South Africa, do that. Do that. And I told you before.
Do that. If you want to start a civil war in South Africa, take the land. Well, that's, of course, Dr. Peter Groenewald. Well, that's, of course, Dr. Welcome back to the program, folks. There's a new sheriff in town. His name is Donald John Trump. Yeah. Well, I got faith and I got hope. I get a little bit more each day. Welcome back to the program, folks. Big news. Donald Trump is shaking the entire world. The world is shaking. Can you feel it? Then you feel it. Can you feel it? The world is shaking. It's getting spicy up in here, as John Hooch would say. Tonight, we're going to cover Donald Trump's news from around the world. We're going to start off with the new sheriff in town, Donald John Trump. Let's get it started right now, folks. Space Lord Supreme has subscribed to the channel. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you're a Jason Aldean listener. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, let's get with it. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat, and then we'll get on. Susan Daniels just subscribed. Thank you, Susan. Let's get to the news in a few moments, but I'm going to greet everybody in the chat as we get started here. James Bowie's in before the hour started. George Steinberg in from Heckport. Hendo in from the UK. Tony Nage in from the oil sands of Alberta. Val Cooper in from Western Cape. Smoothie says the price of eggs went up. Where does the buck stop? Okay, now I know you're just being a jokester. Elizabeth Kruger, Jan van Riebeck. Jan, welcome to you. Good to see you back again. It's all your fault, Jan. It's all your fault. I'm telling you, man, I missed the boat. I should have taken that username years ago. Eric is here. Who else we got there? And it's all before the hour even started. Mark Purchase, Pablo Charlie's in from the Netherlands. And who else we got? The Jan says, aid to Africa cut off even the HIV-free meds. No food aid to Zimbabwe after decades of feeding Zim. Trump cuts aid to Africa. Nah, he's called for review, which is suspended all aid. Hasn't cut it yet. He can't really cut it legally. He can halt it. Monterey Sipperts is here. Welcome to you. Steak on baby. All right, butter like smooth. Okay. Is that Bob Dylan? No, that's Dean Chancey. Mark Purchase says something. I can't read that. Phonetically correct. Okay. Ek fertile home. No ye sal my nut se treatni. Yeah, I guess you're commenting on my Afrikaans pronunciation. Paulie's back, 22,000 subs. We are on the move. The channel's on fire at the moment. For the moment. Speaking of which, thanks to 71 people currently here. The video that I just put up on Gate McKenzie, which I think is a fair video. It's not an attack on Gate McKenzie or an attack on the PA. It's simply a statement of facts and asking where the party really sits on expropriation. That video is actually kind of on fire for this channel at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. I have to say that for this channel at the moment, that video has been up less than 1 hour. 1 hour and 2 minutes, 5,525 views. Damn, we haven't had views like this since we used to do videos on Julius Malema back before the censorship of this channel began. Already got 11 subscribers off that 5,500 people in the first hour. I got one negative comment telling me, oh, we know you hate Gate McKenzie. I don't hate Gate McKenzie. I just hold him to the standard. He runs in politics. I hold him to the standard. I hold him to his word. And the gentleman said some things that are just basically race hustling, and they're inappropriate. So I just called it out. Also complimented him and said things correctly about him. All right, so Smee again is back again. We got Les Van Isis here. And then who else? All right, YouTube. Oh, she's having trouble, Erica. Faith Naidu. Welcome, Faith. Thank you. Leroy Huff, the Colonel, picks the best videos. I would pick better videos except for copyright infringement claims, copyright strikes. Otherwise, I put all kinds of stuff up because I've got the cultural references that are always appropriate, but just can't always run with the stuff. Janet Lydia's here. Who else? We got Hakan Engman in from the Netherlands. And then Elizabeth Kruger, Smee again. Rebellious Ruthie says, hey, Ruthie, how you doing, Ruthie? Do you know, Ruthie, the other day I was talking to somebody, I said, I think I know all but 3 of the Jewish people left in South Africa. just random thought there. Because Ruthie and I were talking about Judaism in Africa a while back. I think I knew all but 3 Jews in South Africa at this stage. Pretty crazy. All right. You know what I miss, Ruth? Back in the day, you guys were kind of fun, the early days of this stuff in lockdown. And I've been around for a while. Why isn't ANC founder up in there complaining some land is already off the list? Not sure what you're talking about. Looking like a wealthy cowboy from Wyoming. There you go. Yeah, I'll get you on my oil well. My oil well. Hey, Daniel, thank you for your subscription. Lindrea Myberg is back again. Hey, Lindrea, how you doing? Shawnee's here. Etienne Ronnie. Hey, Etienne, been a while. Chris Ehlers is here. Continuum FM. Mike is in from Pennsylvania. Okay, must be from Southern PA. That's right. Awkward Leon says, I have a theory that Cyril is implementing these laws with the goal of destroying South Africa so they can say things are better with an ANC majority. I don't know about that. Greg in from Poland. Welcome to Greg from Poland. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your surname today. Why is Woody from Toy Story hosting today? Because there's a new sheriff in town, Steak. Aren't you paying attention? There's a new sheriff in town. His name is Donald John Trump. That's why Woody from Toy Story is hosting today. I don't think Woody had a beard in Toy Story, did he? I don't think he had one. I'm sure I missed a few people here, so my apologies for that. It's all Shawnee. China in the first country to record trade surplus. That's old news, Pablo. That's like 3 weeks ago. Cracker Barrel Kids back again. Good to see you there. You were super chatting on Ronaldo's channel last time I saw you, if I remember correctly. What have I missed here? Come on, this thing keeps jumping on me. Okay, there we go. Come back. There we go. Leroy Huff, I think I already said, do y'all know me from Map? What am I missing there? And my eyes are a little bit off today. I can't see clearly. Digging the hat. Hey, Cracker Barrel Kid loves the hat. Okay, cool. Ruthie is awesome. You're right. I'm not kidding. I know almost every Jew left in South Africa. It's crazy. It used to be a couple 100,000 there. 250,000 one time. All right. The video is fair comment. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Less Fun Ice. I thought it was a fair comment too. The Stranskys are Jews. I didn't realize that, but that makes sense. Okay. I know Joel Stransky. Well, there you go. That's another one I know. I didn't know he's Jewish. Because I don't really care. I don't care if you're a Muslim, you're a Jew, you're Christian, as long as you're an honorable person. That's all I care about. Toy Story with a Santa beard. Now Hendo's confused. Indeed. All right, folks, let's get to some of this news we're going to cover. 91 people currently here. If you're just tuning in, you're going to have to ask the people in the chat why Woody from Toy Story is in the show today. Ruvani Freiba says, MAGA indeed, ladies and gentlemen. It's a MAGA Monday. Glad it's not Sunday. So happy Trump's in town today. Just another MAGA Monday. Yeah, that's pretty good. I just made those lyrics up right as we went. Make America Great Again, says Chris Bodenhorst. Indeed, we're making the world great again, folks. It's MWGA. Waga. That's like that Japanese, that sushi you get. Waga, All right, ladies and gentlemen, in case you missed it yesterday, I did a video on this. I produced the video 40 minutes after it happened. Donald John Trump sent 2 military aircraft to the country of Colombia. Where we get our cocaine and our coffee from. Colombia. Cocaine, coffee, hey, what's, 2 big imports. Yeah, we don't tax the cocaine, unfortunately, but we get cocaine and coffee from there, and we spend $1 billion a year on Plan Colombia to help them eliminate the terrorists and the narcotics, folks. So we spend $1 billion a year in Plan Colombia, putting our troops in harm's way. And what do we get as a reward for it? Well, we get Gustavo Petro, the socialist Marxist dictator of Colombia. First off, by the way, folks, let me make this very clear to the 96 people currently here, in case you don't know this. Of course, some of you do know. I'm a retired colonel. I worked in embassies. And in order for a military aircraft to fly over the airspace of a country or land in a country, so those are overflight rights and landing rights. In order to do that, before a military mission can even launch from, say, Ramstein in Germany, you have to have the approval of every country. So, for instance, when I flew from Stuttgart in a C-12, which is a small aircraft, to Gaborone, okay, we had to refuel in Niamey in Chad, not in Chad, Niamey, in N'Djamena. We had to refuel in N'Djamena because it was too far for that plane. But we had to get approval from Germany, of course we had. We had to get it from Italy, from Algeria, from Chad, from Nigeria, or not Nigeria, from Cameroon, all the way down the continent to Botswana. Every country had to approve our overflight before we could even get in the air. All right, so that was all approved. The pilots do that. Country clearance goes off the embassy. Boom, boom. We go to the foreign ministry. We request it. Every single flight gets a request through the foreign ministry. Before Colombia even had 2 U.S. military aircraft en route to Colombia, the Colombian government had already approved. The president, in fact, had already intervened. The Wall Street Journal reported the president, but I would have known that. I would have known the foreign ministry approved. But the foreign ministry approved those flights bringing those criminals back to Colombia. And so in an effort to look impressive and stand up to the Yankees. Yes. Oh, we got some big boobs here. We're going to stand up to the Yankees. Yes. Gustavo Petro decided that he was going to turn our aircraft around. You cannot land here. Hey, by Riba, Condeas. Oh, muchacho, you cannot land here in Colombia. No. You cannot land here. We want lots of attention for Colombia. We don't want our criminals back. Yeah. So guess what? Donald Trump, 5 minutes later, boom, shakalaka, he lowered the hammer. Trump lowered the hammer. He put a 25% tariff effective immediately on Colombia and all of its exports to America, which is about $15.3 billion a year in goods. Well, legal goods. We're not counting the cocaine. Who knows how many billions that is. But yeah, so there you have it. And then the left tried to scare us. Oh, Trump's out of control. Oh, we're going to have to pay a lot. And Alexander Ocasio-Cortez, oh, now we're going to have to pay a lot. Oh, we're going to pay tariffs on coffee coming from Colombia. I can't get my mochaccino from Starbucks for less than $20 a cup. Oh. Sorry, that sounded like a really weak Alexander Ocasio-Cortez. She didn't really have an accent because she's from Brooklyn. So anyway. But the left tried to scare us. Oh, America gets all its oil from Colombia. Ladies and gentlemen, last year we imported 242,000 barrels of oil in the entire year. The entire year. 242,000. Do you know how many barrels of oil the United States burns every day? 18 to 20 million barrels. So it's not even a fraction of a single day's oil use in this country. Yet the left tried to scare us. Well, now you're going to have to pay extra for your coffee and you won't be able to get any oil. You can keep your coffee in Colombia. We'll get it from Ethiopia or Uganda. Ooh. Hell, China even grows coffee in the tropical zones. We'll get it from China. We won't get it from Colombia. Promises made, promises kept. The new sheriff is in town, ladies and gentlemen. Donald John Trump went bat crap crazy. He spanked little Gustavo. Come here, Gustavo. Come here. You've been bad behaving, boy. Come here, Gustavo. He spanked Gustavo. Oh, my goodness, folks. That aircraft approval story, this reminds me of this. Oh, yeah. No, you're right, Greg. Well, let me divert from Trump. We'll come back to it. Greg, when that flight went to Poland, this is what they did. And I know this, and I reported on it at the time, but you weren't a viewer of my program. I said, they're arrogant. The ANC asked for country clearance. They got it, but they didn't put half the people on the damn roster. You've got to give all the passport information, all the people in the country clearance request, all their names, all their passport numbers, expiration dates, who they are, what the position is. And if you're going to bring arms with you, you must declare all the arms. They brought crew-served weapons on that flight, like they were invading Poland. And the Poles like, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. Nope. And so what do they do? What do? We get the little lunatic overly promoted above his station in life as a general in the SAPs. Racism! Oh, the Poles are racist. They won't let the people of color into the country. They're just a bunch of racist. Except they weren't. There is a protocol recognized internationally under the Vienna Conventions. The Vienna Conventions govern diplomatic relations, diplomatic ties, and diplomatic status. I know. I carried a diplomatic passport for 20 years. That's right. I worked at a dozen embassies and visited many, many more. So, anyway, Joe, no, nobody gives a shit what you've got to say. Fuck off. Anyway, you don't like the content? Watch something else. You know what? Sometimes people just like to have a good time. You know what, Jono? I guess it just hurts your feelings that all I do is win, no matter what. I got money on my mind and my hands go up and they stay there and they stay there. And they stay there, up, down. All I do is win. Anyway, sorry, Jono. I hurt Jono's feelings. Anyway, back to the story here. So Donald Trump smacked sanctions all over Colombia. And they backed down within the hour. Little Gustavo thought he was going to show the world what a mighty man he is. Yes, we'll show the world how powerful we are. Well, good, Jonah. Rest your case. Rest your case. Don't fall asleep if your ass goes numb. Anyway, so yeah, here we go. So little Gustavo, very upset, very, very upset, very, very upset. But little Gustavo, you shouldn't behave this way. Oh man, the left is, they're actually being pretty quiet about it because they know this is a no-win situation. Donald Trump is a new sheriff in town, and he's not putting up with the horse manure. So we'll see how it goes. His suspension of birthright citizenship has been challenged in court already, as we predicted the moment that it came out, as will be several other things. Now, there's a legitimate challenge to that, but most of the stuff there's no legitimate challenge to. But let's get to these news stories and this first one here about Colombia. Gustavo Petro said the United States should not treat Colombian migrants as criminals, and that he has already turned away U.S. military flights carrying deportees. But the problem with that, Gustavo, is that your government approved those flights, and in a fit of attention-seeking, you disapproved them as the flights were close to land. You wasted millions of dollars of our time, our resources, jet fuel, and endangered the lives of those pilots and crew who carried those criminals to your country. They're not migrants. Let's be clear about this. They are criminal alien invaders. They violated our sovereignty, which is a felony. They invaded our country. That makes them criminals. They're not migrants. Migrants move around inside a country legally, where they have authority and access to be. They're not immigrants. Immigrants rock up at a border post. Hello, I'm Gustavo Petro. I'm here on vacation to go to Disneyland. Okay, Gustavo. 90 days. Enjoy your trip. That's a visitor, a tourist. But an immigrant applies for a visa, comes here with the intention of resettling here. And they obey our laws, our mores, our norms. And they're not convicted criminals like murderers, pedophiles, rapists, home invaders, like the people we just sent back to Colombia. Yeah. So, Gustavo, they're not migrants. They're not immigrants. And you weren't treated with disrespect. Unlike those people who slipped across the southern border, by the most part, illegally invading America, evading our border posts and border controls to come into this country. And then jumping on the back of trucks and trains and transporting themselves surreptitiously into our cities around the country. We flew them back in class. And he calls it insulting that they were flown in military aircraft. Well, you can shove it, buddy. I spent my entire adult life flying around military aircraft. It's not insulting. Should be so lucky. Anyway, so Gustavo. Colombia refused to accept U.S. military planes deporting immigrants. They're not immigrants, New York Times. They're criminal alien invaders, setting off a furious reaction from President Trump, who announced a barrage of tariffs and sanctions targeting the country, which has long been a top U.S. ally in Latin America. Well, it hasn't been an ally since this Marxist took over. Funny how the New York Times fails to mention that. Yep. Colombia's latest president, Gustavo Petro, a leftist Marxist. Yep. You don't like our freedom? Fine, Mr. Petro said. I do not shake hands with white enslavers. Wow. White enslavers. So who's being condescending, disrespectful, and rude now? We never enslaved Colombia. We've done everything but protect Colombia and give Colombia the resources to free itself from the tyranny of narco-terrorists. Yet he calls us white enslavers? I don't think so. I do not think so. So, what happened? Well, Colombia backed down within the hour. Colombia has walked away from the brink of a damaging trade war. African idiot, 350 Rand. Thank you for your 350 Rand, African idiot. He walked back from the damaging trade war with the United States reaching an agreement on accepting deported migrants being returned on military planes, including unrestricted acceptance of immigrants. They're not immigrants who entered illegally. That doesn't make them an immigrant. They're illegal if they entered. They're not an immigrant. Jesus, these people can't even tell the truth. We will continue to receive Colombians and Colombian women who return as deportees, guaranteeing them decent conditions as citizens subject to rights, says Foreign Minister Luis Gilberto Murillo. So you make a distinction between Colombians and Colombian women. What, are Colombian women not Colombians? Aren't they all Colombians? I'm a little confused there. Anyway, so they back down. So what comes next? Well, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she's worried about the price of coffee. A damaging trade war. $30 billion of trade with Colombia. A damaging trade war? Are you serious? Damaging to whom? To Colombia, not the United States. We don't need Colombia. We don't need it at all. At all. Does that hurt your feelings? I'm sorry if it does. A $30 trillion economy doesn't care about $30 billion in two-way trade. So we don't export $18 billion to Colombia. Big whoop. We also don't give you $1 billion to fight narco-terrorists. That saves us $1 billion. It's already looking like a win-win to me. So we pay a little bit more for coffee from Ethiopia. I think we'll survive. But no. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is worried. To punish Colombia, Trump is about to make every American pay even more for coffee. Remember, we pay the tariffs, not Colombia. Trump is all about making inflation worse for working class Americans, not better. He's lining the pockets of himself and the billionaire class. How is Trump lining his pockets by putting tariffs on Colombia? Does Donald Trump own Maxwell House? Did I miss that? When did he buy Maxwell House? Does he own Folgers now? So Donald Trump is making money off of tariffs on coffee. How? How, Alexandra? I mean, I get her point about coffee costing more. Maybe we're paying for it, but you just don't drink the coffee. Well, the Africa Report has already run a story on this. Marie Tout le Monde, that's an interesting name, not Tout le Monde, but Tout le Monde, said that Trump's aid suspension, which African countries will suffer the most? Yes. Barely inaugurated, U.S. President called for an evaluation of development aid programs. How much is allocated for the continent? Which sectors are earmarked? And which countries? We offer an analysis and infographics, yes. Trump signed executive order on January 21st calling for a 90-day pause on new obligations and disbursement of development assistance funds to foreign countries and implementing non-government organizations to ensure alignment with his policy goals. Yep. His predecessor, Joe Biden, announced over $1 billion in humanitarian aid for Africans displaced by historic droughts. The contrast is striking. So here you go. Which countries received the most in U.S. development aid in 2023? Look at that. Ethiopia and Egypt, followed by Nigeria, the Congo, and Somalia, followed by the next tier, which includes South Sudan, Kenya, and Mozambique. And then one step down from there is South Africa, a major recipient of foreign aid. Yep. And here's where the money is spent. 34% goes to humanitarian aid, 33% paying for Africans' health, not my health, but Africans' health, 13% for peace and security, 8% for economic development, 3% for education. Yes, so partners that implement U.S. foreign aid projects, and these are networks, enterprises, governments, non-government organizations who all use the money that we hand out. I know, I've doled out a lot of that money. Well, Africa is bracing for Donald Trump's withdrawal from the World Health Organization. Why? Because they won't get any more money from us? Maybe. U.S. exit from the World Health Organization is expected to have a huge impact on Africa, which relies on the agency's programs to help address disease outbreaks. Rico Smith just subscribed. Thank you for that. Yep. So they're dependent on our money. Our money. So why are you so dependent on our money? We are just one country out of 194. We're only 5% of the world's population, yet we have to carry 20, 40, 50% of the burden? I don't think so. And the argument is, well, that you have the world's largest economy. Well, yeah, so we're successful, so we should pay more. We're less equal than other people? I don't think so. Well, Donald Trump's new sheriff in town approach continues with executive orders expected to come out today on reshaping the U.S. military and a transgender ban. 3 executive orders to reshape the military, including a ban on transgender service and getting rid of the DEI. Well, the DEI is already gone, man. That's old news. And Meta Gordy just subscribed. Thank you for that, Meta Gordy. Yeah, so Trump is expected to sign 3 executive orders today, including banning transgender service members from serving the armed forces, ending DEI, which he had already done, so I don't know why I have to do it again, and reinstating service members who were discharged for the Rona. People who refused to get the experimental jab will now be reinstated. That's 8,000 U.S. military members who were kicked out at a time of difficulty recruiting people. Donald Trump will be letting them back in. Well, what else? Well, Donald Trump. Oh, that's not it. Sorry, got a little ahead of myself there. Donald Trump's ICE raids have continued to go after convicted felons, not school children, not dreamers, not the people who just want a better life. No, that comes later. Right now, we're going after convicted felons. Nationwide blitz, trying to up the number of criminal alien invaders we're kicking out every day. The apprehensions are part of an effort to amass a larger enforcement apparatus, pulling in a range of federal agencies that have been granted extended immigration authority under the Trump administration. ICE agents were joined by officials from multiple Justice Department agencies as they target what they said are public safety and national security threats. The operation will continue throughout this week. White House border czar Tom Homan called Sunday's enforcement actions in Chicago a good day and a game changer in an interview with CNN. President Trump has put all of government on this issue. We had all of government law enforcement today on focus on public safety and national security threats in Chicago. Nationwide, 956 people arrested and 554 detainers lodged. Wow. And the left is melting down. Why are these criminals being arrested? They didn't do anything wrong. They didn't do anything wrong. Well, Dr. Phil went along for one of these in Chicago, my kind of town. Dr. Phil went along on one of these rides, and let's hear what he's got to say. Dr. Phil, you know, the famous guy, the Oprah guy, who's a television therapist. Dr. Phil films as ICE targets migrants. They're not migrants. They're criminal alien invaders. Thank you, Clayton, for your subscription.
Say that.
Say the what? You have a first and last name.
Sound.
Say the sound.
Yes.
Where you from?
Where I was born or where I'm from?
Where you born?
Thailand.
Thailand.
You been deported before from the United States?
No.
Never been deported?
But I've been in the system before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been charged with
Charge for it.
before?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna talk to my lawyer.
He wants to talk to his lawyer.
Yeah. Are you a citizen?
My mom says it.
Your mother's a citizen?
He's not a citizen. This one's charged with child sex offenses. He diddled little kids, and he's going to be kicked out of the country. Donald Trump will sign an executive order reinstating thousands of troops, as I mentioned a short while ago, for not taking the jab. This is good news. Not only will they get their jobs back, but according to Trump, now we have to make sure the Trump administration follows through on this because we hear these empty promises all the time from politicians. They will be reinstated, their rank put back on, and if they hit a gate in a window where they would have been promoted, they're going to get an automatic promotion. They're not even going to have to go to a promotion board. So they get a promotion, and they're also supposed to get back pay and benefits. Some of these people, we're talking 2021, they were kicked out, 2, 3, 4, 3 years of benefits. Let's say you're a lieutenant colonel with those years of benefits. You're going to get well over $300,000 in back pay and benefits. Yeah, that's crazy. Now imagine that 8,000 times. Now, most of those people are getting $30,000 or $40,000 a year, so it's not that much, but quite a bit. Well, Donald Trump is busy. This guy has the energy of an 18-year-old, not an 88-year-old. He's actually 78. He is attending the Republican policy retreat in Miami. Wow. And we may see another cabinet member confirmed today from the Senate. Trump has also ordered the release of additional water from Northern California, the Central Valley water deliveries, claiming it could help the LA wildfires. President Trump signed a sweeping executive order Sunday that told federal agencies to immediately take action to deliver more Central Valley water and eliminate rules that stand in the way, including endangered species protections. Emergency measures to provide water resources in California and improve disaster response in certain areas. Executive order signed on the 24th of January, 2025. And now it's the 27th already. So the need is just get around to reporting on that. Trump has also revived a push to review the naturalization records of people who illegitimately achieved U.S. citizenship. Ilhan Omar, is your phone ringing? Is your phone ringing? People who fraudulently obtain U.S. citizenship through naturalization will likely find themselves in hot water. It used to be that immigrants who earned U.S. citizenship could only see it taken away if they hid their Nazi past, had ties to terrorists, or lied on their applications, fewer than a dozen people per year. That's not entirely accurate. Thank you, Percy Erasmus, for subscribing. That's not entirely accurate. If you had ties to the Communist Party, you could have your naturalization stripped away from you too. So these people, these are lazy reporters. I know, because it's a counterintelligence agent, actually investigate people for those very things. Ronald Samba, thank you for subscribing. Yeah, okay. All right. So he said that changed when Trump's first administration, when he led a campaign to denaturalize thousands of immigrant U.S. citizens, though it never met his goals. Last week, Trump rebooted the effort, ordering adequate resources to be spent to denaturalize some U.S. citizens as part of his broader plan to restrict immigration. Now, before I go any further, I should point out to you, the Department of Justice strips people of their naturalization all the time. John Demjanjuk, accused of being a Nazi guard Ukrainian Nazi guard in Sobior in Treblinka during the Second World War. John Demjanjuk was stripped of his citizenship before even being convicted of a crime. Why? Because he lied on his entry papers to come into the United States. So they took it away. But anyway, people have it taken away. Obama had a denaturalization office in the Department of Justice. Biden had one, but they want to pick on Trump. He said Trump's new directive got a little attention amid the flurry of eye-catching orders launching the president's promised mass deportation. But this quiet back office directive has immigrant advocates worried because of the wide net his administration cast the last time. Well, here's the problem, folks. Why are they upset? If you came to this country and you lied on your immigration papers to deceive the American authorities to get American citizenship, your golden pass, why should you be entitled to our citizenship? I mean, if you're a convicted felon who diddled kids in Brazil and you lied about it and you come here under a false name and we grant you citizenship only to discover later on through DNA testing that, in fact, you are a wanted criminal from Brazil, you think we're going to let you keep your citizenship? No, that's the role of government, to ensure that the system is fair and we're not defrauded. Since the executive orders have been signed, there's a lot of fear, generally, said Gintari Grigiet, a New Jersey-based immigration attorney who successfully fought a denaturalization case during the first Trump administration. She's been fielding calls from nervous clients, even those who've already become citizens. People are asking all kinds of hypotheticals. Is there a legal path for someone to go after them to take away their naturalization? Yeah. If you're a fraudster, absolutely. You're not entitled to citizenship. And why do people even think that's a question? It's because I put the mic off. I'm talking to myself because I didn't want you to hear what I had to say. That's why I had the mic off intentionally, guys. But thank you for the heads up. Where the heck is this thing at? There we go. I'm going to take my star off. There we go. Got my star off. Okay, cool. All right, the new sheriff, we've done that. We've covered the Trump thing. Okay. You're not deaf, Joe. Joe Cruiser, you're not deaf. Why are you all saying sound? The sound is on. All right, switch your attention now from Donald Trump to South Africa, folks. Thanks for tuning in. 135 people here real quick. Before I get to South African news, let me go back and take a look at that video. I'm curious what my Gabe McKenzie video is doing now. It's been up for over an hour, so we've been up for an hour and a half at least. Let's see. Come on. It's been up for 1 hour and 31 minutes. It's 9,771, 29 new subscribers. 8,000 people in the last hour. Wow. Well, that makes sense. There's 9,000. Immigration lawyers make a lot of cash from NGOs. Yes, I know that very well, Mike, because when I was a instructor, a professor at the Army War College, we had a Congolese soldier who beat his wife. And so they took her out of the home and put her into a women's shelter, which she wasn't supposed to know about. And no one spoke French. She had an infant child and she was pregnant. She didn't speak anything except French. Well, she spoke an indigenous language from the Congo, but no one spoke that. Linga, I don't speak that. Lingali. Anyway, so I was the only person at the war college. There was one other person who spoke French with any degree of proficiency. So as a colonel, they drugged me in to do a job that a sergeant would do. And I became an interpreter for her. And I wound up going to the immigration lawyer, to the courthouse, all this stuff. Man, extra duties is assigned. Oof. Isabel, thank you for your Isabella Owen, thank you, and Isabella and Owen, thank you for your subscription. And so I became the interpreter for them, and so I learned all about this. I already knew, but now I saw it firsthand how immigration lawyers work. In her case, she had a legitimate basis for asylum. She was in the United States on an invitation by the U.S. government, and she was a victim of domestic violence, and that qualifies people under certain circumstances, because there was a concern that she went home, there would be retribution, and she might even be killed, which is a fair assessment. So she was granted political asylum here because of domestic violence, which was committed in America. Anyway, but yeah, so I dealt with that up close and personal. James Green is making horse shit up. Trump wants history of black servicemen removed from Air Force training. Shameful. How you suck, most of you. What? Fuck off, asswipe. You just where's the little trolls come from? Wow, where did they come from? Where do they come from? And first off, it's a lie. You're just a liar. You little hate-wanking, self-pleasuring, masturbating leftist. Try to make stuff up all the time. Oh, Trump's a racist. Oh, he hates rape people. Oh, he's an anti-Semite. Really? One of his daughters married to a Jew. The other's married to an Arab. Last time I checked, Arabs and Jews were Semitic people. His grandchildren are half Semitic. I don't think he hates his grandchildren. Of course he's rage baiting, Pablo. We've just sent him to the gulag. Let him come back with a fake name in a few moments, a few seconds. That's already a fake name. Mark, why do you keep telling me? Mark's coming back with the phonetic spelling again. I'm not saying Afrikaans. It was in the video, man. Dude, what's going on, Mark? Anyway, go back to it. Yeah, so that video is doing pretty well. So thank you all for that. Let's get on to South African news. And whoever little, self-pleasuring green was there, if you take your hand off your appendage and let the blood flow back to your brain instead of to your crotch, maybe you could listen in and learn something here instead of being a disgusting, vile, repulsive, poor excuse for humanity. Anyway, so, hey, White Diamond Child, it's been a while. Yeah, no, he's got to let, that's the problem, Joe. These leftists come on the channel and they seize up. They grab a hold of their member and, they grab a hold of their member and all the blood flows to the wrong part of the anatomy and they get lightheaded. Oh, Donald Trump's a racist. He hates black people. And they pass out. So we're cooking. Yeah, no long sleeves. I know that. You're talking about South Africa, George. Yeah, well, it's 34 degrees here, 1 degree above Fahrenheit. I wore the flannel shirt for the effect for the cowboy thing. So anyway. All right, Gabe McKenzie is up in arms. He's not chuffed. He's the opposite of chuffed. He is upset. He's pissed off, and rightly so, because the ANC disrespect him. Okay, get ready. Get ready. I know you want to correct me here. Here it comes. All right, here we go. I'm gonna get my Afrikaans wrong here. I'm gonna do it just to make you happy. Yeah, I didn't even put this phrase in there. He says, "Hulle spiel, ek is een andere busman." Wow, you play, I'm another kind of bushman. Wow. Oh, Gabe McKenzie he's slinging it. He's Cape-colored sense of humor and insults is there, man. He said, Ramaphosa stabbed us in the back, us being the government of national unity. He said that, ek fruitle om nou jy sal my nooit so treat nie. That was terrible. That was terrible. Sorry, folks. Anyway, so he's upset, and rightly so. Meanwhile, the Deputy Minister of Public Works, that would be Minister Zikalala, former actual minister, now just a Deputy Minister, Zikalala. Yes. Amid escalating tensions with the government of national unity, Deputy Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure, Sile Zikalala, has staunchly defended President Ramaphosa's decision to enact the controversial Expropriation Act. He reminded McPherson, there's Alfonso Lema. Thank you very much for that, Alfonso, for joining us here. Amid escalating tensions with the GNU, Deputy Minister has staunchly defended Ramaphosa. During a discussion on X Sunday night, organized by the ANC, he criticized his colleague, Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure, Dean McPherson, albeit without directly naming him. He said it's the duty to implement the act, reminding him of his oath he took to uphold the laws of South Africa. The parties that are vehemently opposed to this policy, it's fine, but all ministers, when they take office, take an oath, and among them is covered in the oath is that all ministers will uphold the Constitution and implement the laws of our country. Therefore, no one person can say, I can't implement this. But see, the problem, Mr. Zikalala, is never mind the fact you're full of crap, and that's why your eyes must be brown. Never mind that. But the problem with your assertion is it's just total cock. It's total nonsense. Because, look, I'm not a fan or a foe or an opponent or a friend of Minister McPherson. But what I will tell you, my friend, is that McPherson is correct and you are wrong. Of course you're wrong because you're just shilling for the communist lying sack of horse manure, African National Congress. And how do I know that? Because I can read plain English. You see, the South African Constitution does appear in the English language, and I've read it, and I've read it quite clearly. And you don't need to be a constitutional attorney to understand what it says. Property may be expropriated only, not occasionally, but only in terms of the law, for a public purpose or in the public interest, and subject to compensation. That compensation must be just and equitable. Therefore, nil compensation is impossible. So you cannot uphold the law, which is unconstitutional, and uphold the Constitution at the same time. Yeah, you might want to take some lessons there at Sile Zikalala, because you clearly are just a party hack. You really don't understand how the law works, my friend. Well, my friend is a bit generous. I think there's, it's an expression. He's not really my friend. You get my point. You get my drift. You get my meaning. All right, so Mr. Zikalala is so full of it, his eyes are brown. Well, where do the parties stand in expropriation, folks? Let's talk about that. The lines are being drawn in the sand, and almost nobody in the government of the National Unity actually is in line with the ANC. Surprise, surprise. That would probably be why Ramaphosa never told anybody about it, because he knew nobody would like it. So let's cover that story here really quickly. The Daily Maverick reports the following. Expropriation Act splits the GNU. That's a misleading topic. It doesn't split the GNU. Here's where the parties stand. Okay, the DA, the IFP, the Freedom Front Plus, and the Patriotic Alliance are against it. All right. And Al-Jamaa is unclear. Yeah, well, that's not a surprise. Rise Mzansi and the Good Party are for it. Okay. And so is the ANC. So that's a 6-3 split with one undecided. I guess that's a split. You could say that. 6-4 would be a split. 5-5 would be a split. 7-3, not really a split. So anyway, I did not watch the interview. It doesn't interest me, but I will report on the story here shortly. Yeah, no, Greg, he's so full of crap, his eyes are brown. It's up to that level. Speaking of, well, I'm not going to say that. A very puzzling story here. I met this gentleman. I had a very interesting conversation with him in Cape Town, just opposite the parliamentary building before they torched it a couple years ago. It was back in 2022, I think it was. Fadil Adams, or no, it was after they torched it. I was there after they torched it at the Indian Hotel across the street, the Taj, or whatever it is. So Fadil Adams from the Cape Colored Congress, whatever they call themselves now, the NCC, they changed their name, has laid a charge of defeating the ends of justice against the Democratic Alliance's Helen Zille. What is going on here? National Colored Congress. National Colored Congress leader Fadil Adams has made good on his word to lay a charge against chairperson of the Federal Council, the Democratic Alliance, Helen Zille. Eustace Meyer just subscribed. Thank you for that, Eustace. Yeah, the charges come after concerns were raised following comments by Zille claiming prior knowledge of the raids conducted at the offices of the mayoral committee members. She was responding to a news outlet about the raids conducted on safety and security boss and DA's deputy federal chairperson, J.P. Smith, and MACO member for energy, Xanthia Limburg's offices. Well, SAPS confirmed that a case has been opened and is under investigation. Interesting. So what's his point? He's claiming that Helen Zille was tipped off. Except the problem with this argument is that apparently she was tipped off months ago. And she was tipped off by the target investigation. How in the world does a target of investigation tip you off? He's not a law enforcement official. Did he have a police source that disclosed it to him? If so, then maybe you have a case here. But if J.P. Smith went to his party leader and said, hey, I'm the target of a malicious investigation, do you know anything about it? And that's the tip-off. That's not a tip-off. Now, if Helen Zille was in contact with the police commissioner or the police minister and went to J.P. Smith and said, hey, they're coming tomorrow. Burn the drives. Wipe the server. You mean like with a cloth? Elon has commented on EWC. I didn't know that. Let's take a look at that. I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting for Elon to talk about that. Elon Musk, EWC. Let's see if anything turns up. Maybe it has. I don't see it. Somebody finds a link. Please let us know about that. Anyway, I don't see it. So where are we at? Back here, Cape Colored Congress. Okay. So as I said, Fadil Adams has laid charges. He said he was going to lay charges. He did. He's laid charges against Helen Zille. Now, where does that stem from? Well, it came from this interview by News 24. JP has many enemies. Zille backs MMC and points to possible political plot in SAPS. DA boss Helen Zille has come out in support of JP Smith. She said she knew late last year that a police raid on Smith and fellow committee member Limburg was imminent. Members of the Western Cape Commercial Crimes Unit raided the pair's offices on Friday. While no arrests were made, the raid would spark significant political intrigue. Speaking News 24, who's the DA's federal counsel, Smith approached her late last year about what he called a politically motivated investigation against him. He informed me at the time about the investigation, though he wasn't sure if it was a hoax. Well, how in the world is that a criminal activity? I mean, okay, so that's basically like, okay, so I'm on the local council here, and police come up to me and ask me some questions. And I ask if I'm a sub-investigation. They don't answer my questions. So I go to my party leader and say, hey, cops came and talked to me, man. What's going on? What's going on? African idiot, I haven't forgotten your super chat. This is for the good mood today. Somehow I get a feeling of hope. Yeah, me too, man. Feeling of hope. Hanging there. 350 Rand. That's awesome. Thank you for that super chat. And I'm sorry it took me a while to get there. But yeah, I caught it before it disappeared. It's up there for a long time. Because YouTube puts numbers. If you like send me zlotys, the guy in Poland, you send me zlotys, I don't know how many to the dollar, but if it's like tons of them, it'll step, you give me 10,000 zlotys. If that's like $3, it'll stay up there forever. But if I give $50, it stays up there for like 30 seconds. Elon commented on Visegrad about South Africa today having more race laws. Well, that's true too, but that's not gonna move the bubble. So I don't see. It looks like a tempest in a teapot. This Fidel Adams thing. I might do a video on that. I'm not sure. I thought about it, but I saw the comments on ENCA where he gave the interview and people just dismissed him as a crank. So I'm not really sure. Well, the South African National Defense Force, according to Peter Fabricius, will send reinforcements to the Democratic Republic of Congo after the death of 9 South African Defense Force soldiers. I saw the video of these soldiers, and I have to tell you that fire discipline is a joke. The videos that I saw, they're not comprehensive. They're anecdotal, but they're unbelievable. These soldiers firing through their fence line. They're just shooting. There's no suppressive fire, nothing. One guy standing around in the open while armored vehicles fire crew-served weapons off in the distance. Reckless behavior. I only saw one video in which actually the military members were instructing, it was an Afrikaans speaker, was instructing the other soldiers on how to fire and lay suppressive fire. It's actually pretty good. Parliament is demanding an investigation into the apparent under-equipment of South African troops. I'm sorry. Parliament needs an investigation into knowing that the South African National Defense Force is woefully under-equipped, ill-prepared, poorly trained, and in the wrong place. They need an investigation. I don't need an investigation of that. Go talk to Helmut Heitmann. Go talk to Peter Fabricius. Talk to me. Talk to dozens of people that know what the hell they're talking about. We don't need an investigation. The amount of money, 0.7% of GDP towards defense spending, and then you send them on peacekeeping missions all over Africa? Come on. These people are a joke. Parliament should be ashamed of itself. You're the ones that inadequately funded them. You're the ones that it's not like the military got 0.6% of GDP and said, oh, you know what? I think we're going to order some DSTVs. Yeah, let's get some DSTV. Oh, satellite dish over here. Let's go to strip club. Yeah. No, I don't think the military wasted that money. I've worked with the South African National Defense Force. On the paltry amount of money they get from the corrupt ANC, they do the best they can. Wow. So, meanwhile, that story in the Daily Maverick, here's the Times Live story on the same day saying completely the opposite. No talks to deploy more soldiers after those killed. Ladies and gentlemen, thoughts and prayers for Louis Calvin Mohi, 28, one of 9 service members who were killed in the DRC in that firefight with the M23 rebel group. One of the 9 South African soldiers sacrificed. And the comments from people on social media, that's why I don't take Jonah seriously. And I don't take the green person that showed up acting like a fool seriously. These people are just nasty people behaving poorly. Maybe Jonah's not. Maybe Jonah. I shouldn't throw Jonah, but the green guy, whatever. Assuming you're not the same person. The comments, this soldier lost his life in a war for tin pot soldiers from Lutuli House, being sent off to the Congo for God knows what. For what? Is the Congo a threat to South Africa? No. Does it require mutual defense? No. Is the argument that it's a SADC member calling for defense legitimate? No. Organ donor. Wow, that's an interesting username. Thank you for that. No, that's legitimate. These soldiers died in a far-off war. For what? The self-aggrandizement and political advantage? Minerals? What is it for? For caters? Anyway, unbelievable. Yeah, Kamahelo Ra, I don't know if that was his sister or family member, but says she's deeply hurt. Rest in peace, my brother. Of course, I don't know if that's actually her brother, DNA-wise, or it's simply, Africanism. So, J.P. Smith's office raid, they arrested one of the staffers, and they were set to appear in court today. Well, Louis Casson was arrested for allegedly refusing to hand over electronic devices during the police raid. He and his lawyer declined to comment on whether he was given police bail on Friday. So, what happened today? Well, the charges were dropped. No merit to them. Criminal case against Louis Casson, the City of Cape Town staff member arrested during Friday's police raid, were dropped. But did he spend the weekend in jail over a bogus allegation? I don't know. It's not reported to the press. But they arrest him on Friday. So typical of law enforcement to arrest somebody on a Friday so they can't post bail. And then on Monday, there's no case. That's intimidation. That's intimidation. Nothing less. Well, the Daily Maverick asks, is it a smear campaign or is it justice? Behind the police raid on the DAs Xanthia Limburg and J.P. Smith. The offices of DA's Cape Town mayoral committee members were raided in a police crackdown that Smith has claimed as part of a political conspiracy against him. Beyond that, the raid points to cop skirmishes, potential information leaks, and a critical investigation into the 28s gang. Oh, we're back to the 28s gang. My goodness, we've already talked about that. We're going to get back to Mark Liffman. Oh, my goodness. My goodness. I would do it again, says Chris Honey's killer, Janusz Wallace. Wow. Janusz Wallace, the Polish immigrant responsible for the 1993 assassination of South African Communist Party leader Chris Hani, has no regrets. In an interview with ENCA, he recounted the events surrounding the killing. I don't remember exactly, but I know he looked at me. His expression was more one of surprise. I simply shot him in the torso, once in the head, and after that, twice in the head. Good Lord. That was our plan, to stop the takeover, and he was one of the most dangerous people. I was a soldier. If the circumstances would have been like they have been, I would do it again. I have no regrets of taking a father and a husband away. That's my... Oh, he says he has regrets of taking a father and a husband away. It's his only regret. He has no regrets politically. Wow. He was shot outside his home in Dawn Park in Ekurhuleni in 1993. Wow. So Chris Honey's assassin says he'd do it again. That is cold-blooded. Yeah, that is cold-blooded. Well, it was a cold-blooded murder. The fact that Chris Honey was a communist doesn't justify it. Not like that. On the battlefield, it's a different thing. But, you know, that's just murder. Yeah. And quite frankly, not that I think anyone should have gotten amnesty under the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, but the amnesty doled out to black transgressors by the TRC, letting them go free. For instance, Amy Beale's brutal murderers were let go just a few years after serving a couple years in prison, despite the fact they bludgeoned her to death with a cinder block for the crime of being blonde and in the Cape Flats helping colored women. They were allowed to go. But the likes of this guy... Now, their crime was not politically motivated, but they claimed it was politically motivated, and they got amnesty, and they got out of jail. Wallace stayed in jail for 31 years for a crime that was clearly politically motivated, but the vengeful ANC refused to let him out. Now, I'm not saying he should be let out, but neither should Amy Beale's murderers. They should still be in prison. Oh, I didn't say it was professional, but I said it was cold-blooded. Well, switching our attention to neighboring Botswana, folks, De Beers chooses Botswana's first Olympic gold medalist, Letsile Tebogo, as the global ambassador. Well, there you go. He knows where his bread's buttered. The brand's pairing with Botswana's 200-meter Olympic gold medalist Letsile Tebogo is a natural fit, as the brand has a long-standing diamond partnership with the government of Botswana. Yeah, through Deb Swana. My success is connected with my nation's diamond heritage, and I'm excited to embark on this new adventure. The 21-year-old Motswana won Botswana's first gold medal at the Olympics in the 200-meter sprint in 2024. He also won a silver in the 100-meter event, as well as a bronze in the 200-meter sprint at the 2023 World Championships. So he went from bronze in 2023 to a gold and silver in 2024 at the Olympics. Well done. I don't know that his success is tied to diamonds, but anyway, he says so. Oops, this is out of place. The Democratic Alliance's mayor in Swellendam is out. The Freedom Front Plus has lined up with the ANC and ousted the mayor of Swellendam, something they attempted to do in August, and they finally made it come to fruition. Wow. DA Swellendam Mayor Francois Durand has been removed during a special council meeting today. ANC tabled a motion no confidence, and the Freedom Front Plus joined them, and now he's out on his ass. Wow. He's accused of failing to implement council decisions, breach of the councilor's code of conduct, and failure to act on misconduct allegations of bribery. Ooh. Another big loss for the DA. Wow. Well, South Africans are being asked by the Times Live in their silly polls, which are never worded properly. They're ridiculous. But they're asking, should South Africans withdraw from the Congo? Now, this is admittedly a limited number of votes. But let's take a look and see if it's been updated here. Now, I voted earlier. I reload the poll. Okay, here we go. Oh, did I get the vote again? Well, that's silly. If I reload the page, I get the vote again. Yes, before all the body bags come back. Yeah, 83% of those say get out of the Congo. 83%. Meanwhile, Rwanda says South Africa's to blame. Really? not Rwanda, who's been funding and supporting M23. Rwanda has pointed the finger back at South Africa, blaming its mission that it leads in the DRC for helping to violate the ceasefire. Over the weekend, Security Council, South Africa told Security Council Rwanda must drop its support, but now Rwanda is saying it's South Africa's fault. Wow. Rwanda says it doesn't support the M23 rebels, but the United Nations and many other parties, including the United States, claim otherwise. 22 Nigerian soldiers killed by insurgents in a counter-assault. At least 22 soldiers have been killed and several wounded in Nigeria's northeast after insurgents deployed improvised explosive devices and suicide bombers to ward off attacks by the military. The Nigerian military said late on Sunday night that it had launched an assault 10 days ago against insurgents in the northeast and killed over 70 militants, including 3 commanders. Boko Haram and the Islamic State in West Africa, ISWAP, militants have mainly operated in Borno State. Wow. More people die in these stupid wars. For what? For what? For what? Anyway, there you have it, folks. That's the news I want to cover for today. Got 139 people still here. Thanks for being here. And let me go back to the chat and say hello to everybody who isn't being a troll. And maybe even to the trolls. All right, so where is my timestamps? This is very annoying. You said it and it keeps changing. Okay, so thank you for the 50 Rand super chat. Go to jail, do not pass, do not collect 200. That must be for spanking a guy. Will the 25% tariffs apply to Colombians' #1 export cocaine? No, continuum. And I said that in my video if you'd watched it. Talking the Marxist lingo in the press. Yep. Sedgefield saying free Tommy Robinson. I don't think that's going to happen. The leftists say calling them undocumented instead of illegal makes me mad. Well, I agree with you. They're not undocumented. They are documented. I mean, how can you be undocumented when you cross the border and you've been identified as an illegal immigrant? You are documented as an illegal immigrant. So it's just nonsense. It's like previously owned automobiles. Do you mean used cars? Or gender-based violence? Now, I realize that gender-based violence includes, mental, physical assault, abuse, and also sexual harassment, sexual assault, and rape. But, why don't we just call what most of it is? Rape. Just be honest about it. Okay, what else we got here? Mike says oil, hundreds of cap wells on the East Coast, Lost Coast, California, just waiting to be open. Just one example, U.S. sources. Yep. Well, and then you've got the Gulf of America. It's the first time I've said that. In a Justice report, feminism, Trump should allow Latino women to cross the border to Dominicans. Did you see Dan Quarter crying that he won't get his AIDS meds for free? What? Dan Quarter, you're being facetious, right? Where's it at, on Twitter? Where's it at? Dan Quarter. Let me see. Let's see what he's got to say. Is it on Twitter? I didn't see it. Oh, here we go. Oh, is he in the Guardian? Oh, no. Okay. USA cuts funding, instantly halting crucial healthcare projects, how that negatively affect the millions of people who need healthcare. Oh, here it is.
Donald Trump's government just did something terrible that's going to instantly negatively affect.
So, Dan Quarter, you think you're entitled to my money? Who the hell are you? Who are you, buddy? Who are you that you're entitled to my money? Wow. So Dan Quarter is upset, as you said. Here it is. There he is.
The lives of millions of South Africans, and I'm just feeling incredibly upset. So no fancy edits, I'm just going to talk about it. So USAID is an American program that funds developmental projects in many parts of the world, and in particular USAID has funded many very significant and important healthcare projects in South Africa, like funding and subsidizing the rollout of antiretrovirals and other crucial life-saving chronic medication, like funding the existence of entire clinics that service tens to hundreds of thousands of South Africans around the country, where our own own government has been unable to create and sustain functioning clinics for those people. And Donald Trump's US government
Microphone went off. Oh, my mic went off again. God bless it. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Okay, sorry. Ugh, I bumped it again. Sorry, guys. Okay, going to have to repeat it all. I'll go back and repeat it all. Okay, let's go back and repeat it all. No wonder everybody left. Everybody left. Boy, that's some fair weather fans. They leave 30 seconds after the microphone goes off. Oh, my goodness. My feelings are hurt. We dropped from 130 down to 113 just because it went quiet for a second. Good Lord, folks. You know, I have to be careful because of copyright garbage on YouTube. So, you know, please be patient and understand. But wow, people just disappear because, wow, that's kind of sucky. Wow, we went down to 113 people just because the microphone was silent. Yeah, look at that. 30 people left. Wow, just like that. Matthew says, repeat. You didn't hear it, Matthew. Okay, so, yeah, he wants free money, exactly. Oh, Ronaldo just came on. Oh, that's why. I thought it was a microphone. Okay, my bad. Gate McKinney's response to Expropriation Act. It's a pity the DA is so neutered. Yeah, you're right, Carl Brown. It's a pity they're so... Mic is off. Well, the mic must have been off for a long time because a lot of people commented. So again, folks, that's twice in the broadcast. My apologies. Yes, I know I'm on the screen twice right now. It's because I want to do the Dan Quarter thing. Oh, that's not it. Dang it. Sorry, here we go. Dan Quarter. Let's go back and listen to Dan. So Dan's going to complain, as one of my viewers said, about, God bless it, about the U.S. cutting off HIV meds. Well, you know, it's not our responsibility. It's your responsibility, Dan. So it's your responsibility. So, all right. Here we go.
Donald Trump's government just did something terrible that's going to instantly negatively affect the lives of millions of South Africans. And
Okay, so what did they do, Dan? Do tell us more.
I'm just feeling incredibly upset. So, no
I have to say, I'm actually not upset. I'm excited to see Dan without the condom on his head for once. I didn't know the condom was detached. I thought it was a permanent feature of his head.
fancy edits. I'm just going to talk about it. So USAID is an American program that funds developmental projects in many parts of the world. And in particular, USAID has funded...
Well, I've actually executed USAID programs and worked with USAID extensively over 3 decades. I know far more than this clown will ever know about it. And so it's a shame that we're going to hear this from Dan Quarter.
Many very significant and important healthcare projects in South Africa, like funding and...
So why is USAID funding healthcare projects in South Africa, Dan? South Africa is a middle upper income country that has trillions of dollars in natural wealth and all the resources in the world to fund its own healthcare programs. Why are we paying for healthcare? And oh, by the way, so when national health insurance takes effect, does that mean you confiscate our $350 million a year that we use to pay for healthcare in South Africa too? Come on. Here we go. Come on, Dan, tell us more.
Subsidizing the rollout of antiretrovirals and other crucial life-saving chronic medication, like funding the existence of entire clinics that service tens to hundreds of thousands of South Africans around.
So why is USAID funding tens of clinics that take care of tens, hundreds of thousands of South Africans? Why isn't the government of South Africa doing that? Isn't that why you need to have national health insurance because you need it, but we're funding it. So something's not right here. Why are we funding it? Dan, you make a lot more sense when the condom's on your head.
The country where our own government has been unable to create and sustain functioning clinics for those people.
No, Dan, you're incorrect. Your own government is perfectly capable of creating those clinics and running them. They just steal the money. They don't want to do it. They have no interest in it, Dan. So stop lying. Stop being a shill for the left. So you're going to whine about taking my tax dollars and me not giving to me any right anymore. Oh, my goodness. Give me a break there, Dan.
And Donald Trump's U.S. government just cut off all of that USAID. They issued a directive saying that right now, as of this morning, no more money must be spent. Projects must come to a halt that are USAID funded and involved in. And any USAID staff who ignore that foreign aid.
Yeah, of course. 90-day review. Because the government is spending money illegitimately in these programs in many places. And I can attest to this. I've reported them. I've done the whistleblower stuff. But they did nothing about it. Now Trump is taking it seriously. Our money being pissed down the drain in places. I mean, we've discovered that our money for PEPFAR was used to terminate the lives of Tanzanian children. 21 children were murdered through abortions performed illegally, which were possible because of money that we gave for PEPFAR. That's not the purpose of PEPFAR. It's not to abort children, Dan. The purpose of PEPFAR is to provide assistance to people to avoid getting HIV and help those who've acquired HIV. So I'm sorry, Dan. Not much sympathy here.
Freed will be disciplined. And so this morning...
Well, of course they'll be disciplined. Anybody who disobeys a lawful order should be punished. Thank you, Carlene Oosthuizen, for subscribing. Anybody who disobeys a lawful order should be punished. Do you take exception to that, Dan?
All different kinds of healthcare projects that are funded by, or at least supported by USAID in South Africa, that service and save the lives and improves the lives of millions of South Africans, we're told, stop. Literally stop, not progressively stop.
Yeah, stop. It's not your money. We have no obligation to you. You're not going to try to attach this moral hazard nonsense to me. I've had enough of Dan. We're going to stop listening to Dan because, I mean, this is just nonsense. This is what the left is trying. You're looking for sympathy. You do realize you're pissing and moaning about my money. You want to insult us like you do all the time. I've heard the garbage you said about America. You want to piss and whine and cry about America all the time, Dan. I've seen it when you're wearing your condom. You know, you always got your condom on. So now, you want her money. So you going to lick her ass now? You going to kiss her ass now, Danny boy? Unbelievable. You think he works out? Yes, Matthew, I think he might be. Certainly from a fellow traveler standpoint. ANC government is incapable, not South African government. Exactly. Save the U.S. first, says Joe Cruiser. This turd tires me, says Nick. Yeah, exactly. Mike says, sort of like you see your neighbor drop his wallet. Well, he doesn't want to give it back. These African countries are acting tough and independent, yet they aren't footing the bill. Maybe when people don't get ARVs. Yeah, exactly. Maybe when we don't give money to the ANC and the government collapses and the already abysmal service delivery disappears entirely, maybe then South Africans will wake up. Yeah. You're getting hundreds of millions of dollars a year from the United States. For what? So that we can be abused over Russia, over Ukraine. Anyway, stupid stuff. Hey, Elsa, how's it going? Yeah, next time don't piss America off, Dan. These things won't happen exactly. Erica says, nice to have you back. Yeah, I'm sorry about the microphone, folks. That's twice today. That's 3 minutes, George. Was it that long? Well, thank you all for sticking around. The 100 plus of you hung around. Those of you ran off to Ronaldo, enjoy your Vidal Sassoon session. Over on Ronaldo's channel, you can get hair tips right now. We'll talk about real issues here. Ooh, that was out of bounds. Oh, my goodness. Please send a check. Dylan says, I'll kiss ass all day. Gift the givers must help. Yeah, exactly. Ooh, Kurtz. Yeah, gift to the givers. Quit giving that money abroad. Help at home. Well, at least the USA is investing in Poland. Well, yeah, we do. Poland is spending the highest GDP in Europe. Yeah, right. You're right, Poland. You're correct about that. Unfortunately, though, Poland's position is pro-Ukraine, and that's problematic. But whatever. It's on your border, so I understand. No U.S. folks are going to Ronaldo, says Mike. Yeah, Dan has emotional damage. Too much mahala. Okay. I don't think this is the end. We will hear about fund withdrawal. U.S. South Africa, not the last. Doge, and we're surprised. Cracker Barrel says, I think we should send the opening of the stream to Dan. He doesn't seem to know there's a new sheriff in town. Yeah. Yeah, South Africa's part of BRICS. Why? Yeah, exactly. Jenkins, thank you. Why do we give anything to South Africa? They're in BRICS. I think they kind of, Top Fund Rensburg, thank you for your subscription. I think that they really screwed themselves. They truly screwed themselves. I mean, the ANC going all in with BRICS. I mean, I was at the BRICS summit last year in South Africa. We're having a new currency. You really think that's what Donald Trump wants to hear? Val was taking a shower and she's back. All right. Okay. People would rather watch paint dry than watch the hairstyling show. Anyway. Wow. Let me take a quick look, folks. Since we got through the news, I'm going to address your chat over here and answer your questions and such. Let me go over and take a look at the Gate McKenzie video and see how it's doing. That video now is, an hour and a half? Going on 2 hours? Let me see. That video has been up for 2 hours and has 15,000 views. Woohoo! 51 subscribers. Thank you for that, folks. I really appreciate that. Is awesome. That's the best performing video I've had in a while. Wow. Gift to the givers only helps. I don't know that that's true, Kurtz. I don't know if that's true. But Dan Quarter's upset. Let me see what some of the comments are. Oh, Ronaldo commented, now we're going to say, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Trying to make the U.S. the villain here simply doesn't work. ANC is warned by hundreds of thousands, if not millions of South Africans to not tempt fate. Now let's see if China and Russia will assist them. Seems they cut your beanie off too, says the giftess. Ketsa says, fuck around, find out. Cry harder, Vitcut, said someone else. Oh my goodness. I just came to laugh at you again, says another one. South African government, give. So they take. We become so entitled, we expect everyone to give out handouts. Oh, this is perfect. Actions have consequences. Someone quoted Ramaphosa from a few years ago. We have South Africa and he has USA. He should leave us alone. Yeah, we'll leave you alone. Stop giving you money. You insult us or you can have our money. You can't do both. Exactly. Americans don't need to pay for everyone. Look at what South Africa's doing to white farmers. Get your money from the EU. America needs a break. Dan, read the comments here on X from Black Twitter. They don't need the USA. They want nothing from Trump. Russia or China will come to the rescue. Screw the West. We don't need them, they said. Yeah. South Africa needs the Whiskey Tango FU. We are not special. We are not Mandela's Golden Boys. We can't play hard ass with these countries and think it's okay. Yep. Yeah, but China's our biggest trading partner. You said America is beyond forgiveness, another chance. What is this? Oh yeah, here he was in 2018? June 21st, 2018. Nothing will undo the scars of these 2,300 children who will now carry for the rest of their lives. If Trump's reelected, America is beyond forgiveness, another chance. America leaving UN human rights is due to hypocrisy of others is beyond absurd. Well, Dan, that's interesting. We don't want the West. We hate the West. We hate America. Dan, that's what you and other like-minded leftists have been saying for a long time. What did you expect? Why don't you ask the CCP to give you the 11 trillion rand per year? Yep, exactly. Yeah, but Trump is true to his word. Exactly. Yep. Oh, man. Dan Quarter. This guy, I mean, look, these people don't read the room. Look, you don't have to like Trump, but you know what? If you hate Trump, now's the time to just shut your mouth. I mean, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Trump, we're going to pay for extra coffee. Really? You think the room that's the room? You're reading the room correctly? Oh my goodness. Look, I read the room and I realized that I didn't have free speech. And so I had to hold my tongue on a lot of things. Very much against my desire and against my will. And I didn't have free speech. Otherwise, I would have lost my channel a few years ago. Yep. Drill, baby, drill. That's right, Jan. It's coming. Yep. So anyway, it's become a phrase for everything with Trump. It's amazing. So, wow. Anyway, by the way, folks, I'm in the affiliate program for YouTube. I can shield products, but you'll notice I've shielded nothing. Not even Starbucks. I haven't even shielded this. But I can make money by shilling this stuff. Should I try it? Should I do that? Should I shield products? It won't make me any money because most of you are all in South Africa. So should I try to make money from the affiliate program? All right, so here you go. So everybody we got all those people we lost when I had the sound off, and then we've come back a little bit from that. So we were at like 143, and we dropped all the way down to 109, and we're back up to 120. So 11 people came back. Okay, we can get all our antiretrovirals from Temu. Okay, Nick. Still don't have free speech. YouTube censors just a bit less. That's correct, Bill. Oh, I know. I'm very careful. Very careful. I know that. In fact, a lot of the censorship comes in the form of shadow banning, which I still get. That's why I'm amazed I got 15,000 views on a video that's 2 hours old. I mean, I had a video in the old days before the censorship on YouTube when I started the original channel that I had a Julius Malema video that I did in 2020, in like August of 2020, that went to 30,000 views in like 5 minutes. It was incredible. I thought I was going to get to 100,000 subscribers. Like, boom. I mean, I went from two subscribers to 20-some thousand in just 5 months. I thought it was going. But then the censor struck. Ha ha ha. You made false allegations about medical stuff. No, I didn't even talk about it. Nope. Warning. Strike. Remove video. Remove video. Remove video. But I didn't violate it. Oh, you're right. Put it back. Up, remove it. Same video. But I didn't violate. But we took it down again. YouTube. We will give more super chats. Please, no ads. No, it's not ads, Ruvani. Look, okay, let me be very clear to the audiences here right now. Whether I authorize ads on a video or not, you're going to see them. Because YouTube took it upon themselves over a year ago to decide, even if you're not monetized, is it Baratus? Mouton. Boy, a lot of moutons here. A lot of sheep. A lot of sheep here. Mouton is French for sheep. Must be a Huguenot descendant. But anyway, it doesn't matter whether I put ads on or not. YouTube 18 months ago said, and this is why I started monetizing a lot of my videos that I didn't in the past. They said, it's up to us. We're going to monetize. So channels that aren't even monetized, they make money off of. And they love that. So you're going to get ads regardless. Now, I can minimize the ads, and I do that. Like right now, you'll be getting hit with a barrage of ads, were it not for the fact that I've set this manually so that only I can interject the ads. Like if I put one in right now, I can do it. But I don't do that for the most part. I do it occasionally just to test and see if it's working and get feedback from people, but I rarely do it. But the affiliate program isn't ads. All it is me going, hey, Starbucks, this is fantastic. Good stuff. Start your day off well with Starbucks. You guys should get this stuff, man. It's only 1,000 Rand for 2 bottles. Dirt cheap if you ask me. Yeah, and then I put a link below it, and if people follow the link and they buy something, I get a cut. That's what the affiliate program is. Yes. Well, we could do a Dan Quarter session. We could do, ladies and gentlemen, buy Dan's Trojan condoms. They fit right on top of your head, and if you go buy them, then I get money. Flesh and the Welshman jumps in. Did I hear sheep? Oh, I could partner with a vineyard. That's right. Oh, okay. Like, what's this? Man shave. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Remember Ronaldo had that thing with the shaving thing? Yeah, that's what it is. 1,000 Rand for 2 bottles. What a bargain. I told you, Chris, it's a good deal, man. Looks like we're screwed. Anyone know about the NDR or what it means to fellow inmates in the gulag? Well, the National Democratic Revolution, I'm familiar with it. By the way, folks, I've reached out to Dr. Anthea Jeffrey from the Institute for Race Relations, and she responded back to me earlier today and said she'd be happy to do an interview with me and have a conversation. But that's going to be a few weeks down the road because she's got something else going on. What's this? What? I'm getting some feedback here from a source about by the way, Neil DeBeer might be on the program tomorrow at 7 p.m. South African time. I'm just waiting for confirmation on that. We'll talk about the NDR and expropriation of the compensation and the black tax and, all that stuff. Neil DeBeer is always entertaining and informative, so hopefully we have that tomorrow. Meantime, Dr. Anthea Jeffrey, who I've been wanting to get on the program for a long time, I finally got contact information for her, reached out to her, and she was very quick to respond to me today. But it'll probably be sometime in February at the earliest that I have her on. So, yep. Also, David Ansara from the Free Market Foundation. We're looking at having him back on the program sometime soon, too. Everybody's got busy schedules. The big networks in South Africa get their attention first. So, pimp beard oil. Yeah, there you go. Beard oil. But my beard's almost gone, man. How can I do that? The beard coin. There you go. Get my Doge coin. Get my crypto. My meme coin. My Colonel's meme coin. There you go. The Colonel's meme is coin. The meme coin is going for 1 billion Rand. Well, that's going to be awesome, Neil. It would be, Elsa. Neil and I haven't talked online for a couple months now. We used to talk quite a bit. Neil DeBeer. People love him or hate him. I think I find him an interesting fellow. Can you ask about Well, we can do that, Pablo. Just if you watch it, remind me because I'll probably forget. Joe Cruiser, heard the new partner for NDR is the DA. Ladies and gentlemen, brought to you proudly by the Democratic Alliance. We'd like to introduce you to our latest product. It's called the National Democratic Revolution. Chantel Jenkins says, Colonel, could you not brush all South Africans with the same brush? I feel cockney now. Americans will hate all of us in South Africa. Unfortunately, we don't have the power to get... Okay, Chantel. Okay, first off, I don't think you've been here very long. If you have, you just don't chat. So you're not getting things here. Can I get some response from people that know me, that are in the chat, have known me for a long time? You will find it almost impossible to find a bigger advocate for South Africans than me. I actively promote 3 languages in South Africa: Afrikaans, Tswana, and Sotho. I go to great lengths to bring positive news stories on South Africa, but I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your skirt. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you things are going to be wonderful when disaster is looming. I'm the only person during lockdown that I'm aware of that ran around and successfully tried and succeeded in getting good news stories. I mean, I talked about the macadamia nut industry in South Africa at the height of the lockdown. I got a beauty salon owner on here when lockdown was eased to talk about how she stayed in business. That was Reese. And so many other things. I brought a panel beater on here, and I go out of my way. So I think that you're inferring something that's not being stated, Chantel, and I can understand because we've been kind of a lighthearted mood today. But no, I speak very well of South Africa, but nobody watches my good content, Chantel. No one watches it. No one watches it. And perfect case. Do we even get to 1,000? I'm gonna look it up now. The Groot Constantia video, which is a professional documentary, which has been treated like crap by YouTube by hiding it. Groot Constantia, did I finally get to 1,000 views? I begged people to do it last week. Let's see if, we got there finally. We finally got there. 1,002 views. But yeah, so Groot Constantia, man. So details, let me get this. So, but nobody watched this stuff. I did this video 2 years, going on 2.5 years ago now, when I went to South Africa, and I think it's an excellent video, paste, and nobody watches it. So I've and I'm not brushing anyone with a broad stroke. I talk about all South Africans from different groups. And the different factions within those groups. So yeah, so I think, Chantel, you're inferring something that's not being stated. Joe Cruiser says, we know, Chris, thank you. The Colonel is great, says Elsa. Change something, maybe do a live Groundhog Day broadcast from Puxatawny. And what's that? Leovin just gave her 42-month membership. Thank you. We want Colonel Chris to be U.S. Ambassador. Well, I don't think that's going to happen, folks. I think that it looks like the inside track might be going to somebody else. And you might know who he is. I know some of you know who he is. Based on this tweet, there might be something afoot. And it's not going to be me to be the ambassador. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm not connected. This is a former, born in South Africa, but an American citizen whose parents were from South Africa, grew up here, and he's connected to the hoi polloi. He's in Breitbart Media, and I tried to contact him before people really knew who he was a few years ago, and he didn't respond. Another one didn't respond. But anyway, based on this tweet, I got a feeling that this might be the guy that Trump nominates. Remember, Trump has a fondness for Jewish Americans. Lana Marks became our ambassador in South Africa. What embarrassment she was. Well, here he is. Not this guy won't be an embarrassment, but this might be your next ambassador to South Africa, folks. Not me. Joel Pollack. He says a simple message for South Africa: no trade deals if you support terror at the ICJ. No consulate in Joburg if you name streets after terrorists. No investment if you exploit race for expropriation. No Trump at G20 unless you play nice with the West. Ouch. Ouch. In response to an article. Wow. So that's what Joel Pollack had to say. I have a feeling he might, the guy from Breitbart might wind up being the ambassador. I don't know if that's appropriate. I think I'd be a good ambassador, but that's just me. Anyway. All right. So 81% of the people who voted, that's 59, said I should go ahead and try to make money. Okay, thank you for that. All right. I need to keep it on the down low. Friends are telling me to not cut my hair. It's getting long. Yeah, I'm not comfortable with my hair long. It's especially wintertime. And there's Peter de Villiers. Hey, Peter, thank you for subscribing. Buy a donkey. Truth and frequently comes here to report and journalize. Oh, Neil, yeah. From what I see, you advocate for good people, but critics, bad people. Exactly. Thank you very much for that, Mike. Mike is an American. Thank you for that comment. I do. And YouTube keeps attacking. Yeah, they do. Although right now, for the moment, let's, ich drücke die Daumen. Also man sagt auf Deutsch, ich drücke die Daumen. In other words, I cross my thumbs, I cross my fingers. So in English we say cross our fingers, but in German we say ich drücke die Daumen. I press on the thumbs. So ich drücke die Daumen that right now this channel isn't being shadow banned. At least it looks that way. Yeah, it looks that way for the moment. We want Colonel Chris to be our ambassador, says Levin, to South Africa, because he's the one person who supports South Africa, even if he is an American. Levin, that's not nice. Will you love the independent Cape? Oh, look, I mean, if the Cape becomes a country, yeah, I might even consider, having a place there. Yeah, I have nothing. I like the Western Cape, I do, but then I like Northwest. I like Gauteng, not all of it. Yeah, and I love the Drakensberg. Yep. Peter Joubert says, thanks for a great show. You're very welcome. My pleasure. Thank you. You know South Africa better than me, and super proud of you. Well, thank you, Chantel. And I'm glad you didn't infer incorrectly. That's what I'm saying. It's I do. I really go out of my way to try to bring good stuff. But Dan Quarter is that didn't deserve any good tidings. And by the way, on the Gayton McKenzie thing. So Gayton has said public statements, but not the party's platform. He said that he supports expropriation with compensation, which is what the law of the land is now. Unfortunately, he went on to say that, not all white people stole land. Well, I'm not aware of any white people stealing land. I'm sure there's occasional theft or title fraud or something like that. But just, putting that brush out there and painting white people for stealing land, no, that's nonsense. There's no one alive today who benefited from the events of 1652 or 1327 or 1100, or it's just utter nonsense. It's juvenile, and it's race hustling is what it is. It's meant to divide people. So yeah, no, Gayton's focus is on colored folks, and he likes rich white people. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I like colored folks. I don't know any rich white people. I wish I did. Wish I had a big sponsor. No land grabs. Yeah, Joe, I got you on that. Okay, we will take him. Who are you going to take? No, Val, it only counts one time. Thank you, though. I thank you for that. Yeah, that view only goes one time. That's it. YouTube only counts at one time. It's unfortunate. Yeah. And they do that. I understand why they do it. Otherwise, somebody just set their computer up with a script, watch it, wait 10 minutes, watch it again. And you get views that are unnecessary. So that's why they do it. Okay, well, to put yourself in harm's way, I guess we're basically still the peasants. This guy, Joel Pollack, nailed it. Yep. Elsa. Greg says, in Polish, it's similar to hold your thumbs. Yeah, you guys, I know you're Slavic and the Germans are Germanic, but you're from the same neighborhood. Yeah, okay. Chris from Bassler, we won't accept anyone else. Rufani, it's very kind of you. It's very kind of you guys, but you can come visit us in Cape Town, says Chantel. Well, thank you, Chantel. I visit people all the time. We do meet and greets. We go to Blaubergstrand, to the Cape Town Brauerei, the brewery there with the German beer with that raspberry Weizen. Oh, are you still here, Garrett? Garrett's here. Garrett can tell you to my affinity for the raspberry Weizen. Ooh, that stuff is tasty. Tasty. Yeah, so we go to Blaubergstrand. We also go to Woodbridge Island for meet and greets. I've done meet and greets in Belleville. Done meet and greets in, never done one in Stellenbosch. I've met people in Stellenbosch. I met Skulk Brits there. I had coffee with Skulk Brits in Stellenbosch, but I've never done a meet and greet there. Done meet and greets in Somerset West. Done meet and greets in Parle. We've done lots of meet and greets in the area, so yeah. Venet du Toy is nie mehr mit Zeitlanders, nie bei... Oh, that's a long... Yeah, it's Sightlanders Civil Defense, yep. Breslau benefited from land grab. Oh. Yes, Greg, you did. But it was legal and sanctioned. Germans had their property stolen from them by Churchill, Stalin, and Roosevelt. Yeah, they betrayed 13 million people. Of the 13 million Germans who were expelled from the East, 4 million died or were murdered en route to escape. The gangs of Poles. Now, Greg, don't take offense. These are facts, and we can turn this around and talk about the horrible crimes committed by the SS and by the Wehrmacht and German authorities against Poles, and you're 100% correct. I'm just doing one side of the story now, so I recognize it's a single side of the story. But we're talking about land grabs, so I'm just going this direction. So after the war, Polish youth climbed onto trains of German refugees fleeing from Schlesien, Pommern, and Ostpreußen mostly from Schlesien-Pommern, trying to get to the west, which was actually Middle Germany. And they would gang rape German women and girls on there. It was horrific. The murders of 250,000 ethnic Germans in the Sudetenland between 1940 and 45 and 48 by Czechs, whom they held responsible for what happened to them under the annexation of the Czech Republic. Many of those people had nothing to do with it. They happened to just be ethnically German. Doesn't make them guilty of crimes. I mean, there were Tutsis who had nothing to do with the crimes and Hutu in Rwanda, but they were murdered just the same. It's terrible. It's terrible. Terrible. Oh, yeah. I love that. I annihilate that beer. It comes in those huge pictures, too, man. Too many people canal walk. That's a pass for me. Wow, Val. Yeah, canal walk can get a little bit busy. You got to watch pickpockets. Well, I've been to Brockenfell. Chantel, I go to Brockenfell. Oh, you're talking to Erica. No, Erica's nowhere near Brockenfell. That's a long drive for her. She's north of Cape Town. Not too far from Blaubergstrand. So, no, I go to Brockenfell. Joe Emilio lives in Brockenfell. Eugene Terre Blanche. I don't know about that. That I didn't know about the Polish aggression. Oh, really? Greg, you didn't know that? Oh, my goodness. No, it was bad. It was bad. There's a very good book called A Terrible Revenge by Zayas is his name. He was I think he's a Spanish researcher who looked at what happened to ethnic Germans. Now, not so much the Poles. This was focused. I have a huge library of the expulsion of Germans from Eastern Europe. German ethnic research is one of my research areas as a historian. I've been to the Sudetenland. I've been to Silesia. I've been to the former East Germany. I've been to South Africa, Canada, the Netherlands, Belgium, South Tyrol in Italy, to Slovenia, to Austria, to Romania, all to research ethnic Germans, and even Denmark for that purpose. Yep. Tony's first day of school is in Brockenfell. Okay. Parklands. Yeah, there you go. Never my home, says Dylan. Anyway, so there you go. Yeah, anyway, so that's, yeah. So, yeah, Greg, no, it's what happened in and after the build up to the Second World War. From 1914 until 1950, Europe was crap. And it destroyed the entire old world order. And we're living with the after effects of it today. And then the foolishness and naivete of the Clinton administration and then the foolishness of the Bush administration begat the idiotic Obama administration, which begat the response to the system Trump administration, which was undermined from within and from without, which proved to be ineffective in many respects. And we had to deal with this embarrassment for the world of Joe Biden. And now, finally, we're on the right track here. We'll see if we can survive this. Tableview, not far from you. Okay. Oh, I've been to Tableview. Chantel, I was at Tableview High School for the elections. I was there on May 29th. For those who don't know, I was in South Africa on May 29th, and I went to 14 polling stations in the Western Cape, starting in Somerset West, and then I did 5 in Khayelitsha, went to Monenberg, Rondebosch, Sea Point, Parklands, Tableview, all over the place. It was pretty wild. All right, folks, time for me to wrap up, though. Be sure to hit the like button. Thanks a lot for being here. But we'll do a quick summary of that other video. Let's see how it's doing. So the Gabe McKenzie video now it was at 14,900 last time I looked. Fingers crossed. Stuckity Daumen. We are at 17,700 views, and that video is 2.5 hours. That's the most I've done on this channel in donkey years. So thank you for that. I hope the views are mostly still positive. It's slowing down a little bit now. It's only had 7,400 last hour. So hopefully it will pick up again. Anyway, folks. Alrighty. So there you go. See, look at this. People making friends. You know, it's just making friends on the channel. People just around the corner from you. You have to have gone to Tableview to get to Blauberg. No, you drive right past it. Drive right past it on the coastal road there. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. And look for my content. It's sunny here. I wonder if I'll go to the ski slopes today. There's time to do it. All right. Y'all take care. Thank you for the broadcast. Thank you for the Polish standard. Yeah, you're welcome, Greg. I try to address things. We have a viewer here is from Finland, Lori Lettinen, who hasn't been on the program for a while. But whenever Lori's here, I'm always bringing up Finnish stories and Finnish politics and, and geopolitics. Same thing. So we got a guy from Switzerland who comes in here, and I talk about Switzerland too. So I'll go out of my way to bring a little bit of news from those places that are less covered on the program. Mr. Punisher's back. Been a while. All right. Night, everybody. Take care. Be safe out there. Hope you enjoyed the program tonight. I know I enjoyed the start of it. There's a new sheriff in town. There is a new sheriff in town. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my face. Hotel California, such a lovely place. That doesn't seem right for a cowboy song, but that's what came to mind. All right, y'all take care. Be safe out there. Cheers. See you next time.